saying out loud. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's episode. Yeah. Gentlemen and ladies, I am the Grady's. Don't debate these facts that I keep dropping. Listen, I ain't stopping. I still am sick as shit. I mean, literally. I have food poisoning going through me. The fluid, it just swims through me. In my tum-tum, it's not done. It still feel it. Sometimes I think, goddamn, there's an alien, kill it. In my bladder, matter of fact, it feels like I'm going crazy like the Mad Hatter. But listen, I can barely drink water. I will fuck around and drown a daughter in a ritual just to get a witch to cool off my stomach, cause I've had enough of it. This pain in my bladder. Why do I keep saying bladder? I mean stomach. Listen, enough of it. Cut it. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for that freestyle, but your boy was just coming with it. I heard that beat and it felt sexy. But you know what would have been probably more appropriate? I got so much stuff in my stomach. I was sitting on the toilet with a trash can on my face. Who said that? I said that. I didn't know if I was gonna make it. It was terrible, ladies and gentlemen, just sitting there till midnight. Who said that? I said that. My stomach would never come back. This isn't making much sense, but when you gotta make sense when you got food poisoning. Ladies and gentlemen, part 2 of the food poisoning saga. We're not going to call this episode that. I think I found the culprit of what gave me food poisoning. If I'm being real with you guys, ladies and gentlemen, if it's your first time to the podcast, welcome. You're probably like, what is this weird sea-level freestyle podcast? Okay, listen, your boy hasn't freestyled on the spot in a minute. Still coming with it. Got so much weird shit in my intestines. Doesn't make sense. Listen, welcome to 7 Minutes in Heaven, where we get 7 minutes in heaven. But listen, let me tell you something right now. You don't want to be 7 minutes in heaven right now because your boy's going through it, okay? What's weird is I looked on Facebook memories 12 years ago to the day I also was fighting food poisoning, okay? It's a weird fact to establish, okay? And we don't know what it was. A friend of mine, she's also going through food poisoning from pizza. I had pizza the night before I got food poisoning. Hashtag Pizzagate. Ain't no one trying to see me live. Is it a Russian attack? Oh, who's that calling? It's the Cold War. Ready to heat things up. Hello? Yes, this is Mother Russia. We are here for a sleeper cell, Evan Lopez. We have used you for years to establish that men who eat boneless wing are not men at all. We have played you like tiddlywinks. We have made a whole generation of men not like bone wings. Boneless wings are delicious. We have made you so distracted with eating the bone-in wings that we have eaten all the boneless wings. It is just easier to eat boneless wings. But you waste all your time and energy getting everything out of the cartilage and the bone. How fucking crazy is that? Think about that. I never have had a problem with boneless wings. It's just the fact that they're chicken nuggets and they're pretending to be bone-in wings. Okay? Don't ever sit there and tell me that you've walked the journey I have when you're eating boneless wings, okay? About to go to war with Russia. Things are a little tense right now, okay? Listen, the last time in your life you want to be dealing with food poisoning is when you're about to go to war with Russia, okay? It's kind of fucked up time to get boneless wings. It is a bad time to get boneless wings because you try to assert dominance. Hey, I'm a man. Fucking Russian invaders are going to be here and they're going to be looking at you eating your boneless wing and be like, someone's going to aim a gun at you and then they're going to be like, don't shoot that one. Remember the code, no women and children. And you're just eating your boneless wing. You're like, wait, what? Carry on, little girl. You know, that's what's going to happen. Everybody eating boneless wings is going to be a shield going to be a fucking Harry Potter invisible cloak for your manhood. That's fine. If you want to eat fucking boneless wings, fucking go for it. Okay? It's probably easier. Maybe I shouldn't have fucked around and eat chicken wings, because you know what else I ate the night before I got boneless wings? Why the fuck do I keep going boneless wings? I had chicken wings. Okay? On Friday night, I got pizza, and I got chicken wings, and I got a little side salad. Okay? And maybe that was the culprit. Maybe it was the wings. It's always Yoan at the end of the day. If that's anything we've learned from the great cinema history in general, Caesar. Nice little Caesar salad, if you will. It's always your own that ends up stabbing you in the back. That's almost like a dumb quote, though, because it's always your own. Yeah, why would just some randos? Well, how many attacks are yeah, it makes pretty blatant that it's always your own. Why would someone be like, you know what I want to do on this regular Tuesday? I just want to go stab someone for no reason. Those are few and far between, friend. 99% is always your own. It's almost like we breathe air, you know? Ridiculous. It's kind of crazy that things are heating up into a world war. Do I think it's actually become a world war? That we don't know. Okay? Russia's moving on the Ukraine. Ukraine today is starting to establish taking emergency military preparation to brace for an invasion. It's going to do some weird shit, but one thing it's going to do is it's also going to raise our gas prices. That was something Biden made sure he established. Hashtag not my president. Hashtag I'm kidding. It is. That's the silliest thing when people say, "No, my president." That's like, I know you are, but what am I? You know? Grow up. But shit's wild. Shit's wild out here in these streets right now. Okay? Has anybody thought about sending Pete Davidson to Russia? I just feel like the man can't miss right now. Okay? Pete Davidson has been out here slinging sausage to some of the greatest. Just taking them down. And he's been doing it looking like a guy who's been dressed up as a vampire his entire life. Pete Davidson is probably what Edward from Twilight should have looked like in the real world. You know? It's probably what a vampire would look like, is Pete Davidson. All he needs is some sparkles. And I'm not hating. I think Pete Davidson's a funny feller. I think he has great dry humor. I think he's been underutilized by SNL. I think when he not made fun of Eminem, but his music video at Christmas, when he did the Eminem Stan version, thought that was hilarious. But Pete Davidson is a very funny comic. But I think that's what happens to comedians when they go to SNL. You know, it's a collaborative thing. It used to be a legendary thing to be part of the cast. But I think he's completely underutilized. That's just controversial. But I think we send Pete Davidson to Russia, okay? I just think somehow he'll get on Putin's good side. And he'll rethink this whole Ukraine thing. Why not just have Pete Davidson be president at this point? That might be where our country is going, where we're just like, we just keep throwing shit at the wall and seeing what will fix the economy. They're like, fuck it, the "you're fired" guy didn't work. Let's try someone else wacky. The Rock? All right, everybody's going to be jacked. That was actually, I remember thinking that. Isn't that, I don't know. Who could actually really fix America? I feel like everything has to change if we're being real. I think if we're being real, we really have to change kind of everything. The way we establish a government overreach. Because we established like these ways of doing things way before this world. Like, it's kind of archaic that we have this same system back when people were writing with feathers and shit. Like, everything's kind of changed. And I feel like politicians' ways of making money and manipulation has changed as well. So all this regulation keeps coming down on regular people. But those regulations haven't gone towards politicians, because for so long, I feel like everybody was just busy living their own life that they didn't even look at like politicians. They were like, yeah, they're supposed to be politicking for us, be our representation, because we have to work and do regular shit. It was like supposed to be a public servant. Isn't that crazy that how much fucking money Pelosi has been making on the side? And not even her, Crenshaw, all these Republicans and Democrats. Your boy's not either. Don't get it twisted. I just think currently under this current establishment, okay, that shit is fucked up. Okay, I think there's been a lot of manipulation, a lot of spending, and a lot of stuff that's just going to keep pushing the can down the road to the point where inflation is going to get crazy. Is your boy a philosopher? Is he a economist? Someone who studies all this shit? No. Just got an opinion, baby. So take what I say with a grain of salt. But shit is wild right now. It is. And I feel like no one's really paying attention. And I mean, maybe that's best. You don't know. You know what you want to be if the asteroid hit the earth when the dinosaurs? You want to be the dinosaur who's currently just eating. He's just eating like, you want to be the T-Rex that's just fucking nostril deep in the fucking insides of a triceratops. Okay, you just want to be the one like, oh my God, this is the greatest moment. This was a young triceratops. This is like veal. And just like getting into that triceratops, and then asteroid hit the earth, vaporized. You know what you don't want to be? The fucking stegosaurus that was just looking up, seeing it coming maybe 5 minutes before. Just there like, Frank the pterodactyl. I gotta establish that it's another dinosaur. Do you fucking see that? See what? I think we're gonna fucking die right now. Oh my God, fucking Frank the pterodactyl. I don't want to fucking die. There's so much shit I didn't do. I never told that raptor that I really. You get the point that I'm making. Dino us. Send me a check. Stupid. But you get the picture I'm painting. That's what you don't want to be. Okay? And that might be fine and dandy. Just go out while the world ends, just making fucking TikToks and everything's fine. All right? Everything's cool in the world. It is crazy. It is crazy. Do you know what? I got to bring this up because it was such a weird moment for me that I feel like I know the culprit of what gave me food poisoning. Okay. I was with a buddy and we went into the store. He had to pick some up real quick. We're in there and he's talking to, this was on Saturday night. He's talking to this person working there. And he's like, oh yeah, the guy behind the counter, my buddy asked him, how's your night going? And he goes, it's good, getting off work soon, gonna go home, hang out with my daughter. And then my buddy goes, oh yeah, how old's your daughter? He goes, 2. I go, okay. And then he goes, I just had a son. And then he goes, he's 6 months or whatever. And then the guy goes, oh wow, yeah, that's fresh, congratulations. And then my buddy goes, yeah, he still got that new baby smell, that fresh baby smell. Like he made a joke about like a new fresh car, like a new car smell. And we laugh and we're walking out. And then, we're walking out of the store and the guy goes, you know what my favorite part is? In such a weird tone. And it's just socially, it was not an acceptable thing to keep the conversation going. And my buddy and I stop and my buddy turns around and I turn around slowly because I'm like, this feels weird. And the guy goes, my buddy goes, what? And the guy goes, I love the smell of their butts. It's so refreshing. Huh? What did you just say? I love their butts. The way it smells. Not only that, this guy, like he's a mime, grabs the air in front of him, pretending all I can assume is that it's a baby butt. And he goes, it's just so refreshing. Like, it just smells like nothing. Have you ever done that? I quickly nod, no. And my buddy goes, nah, and does a weird laugh. And the guy goes, yeah, man, try it. It's refreshing. My buddy just goes, all right, man, have a good night. And we walk out of there. Honestly, should have called the cops right after that. Sent them back in there and be like, yeah, this man needs to be arrested. And also, I'm pretty sure the story I just heard is giving me food poisoning. What the fuck? Okay? Where do you think you get off? Where do you think we have that kind of trust and loyalty that you can just tell a stranger that you think baby butts are refreshing? Okay? And maybe I'm just completely tone deaf and I'm like, oh, this is a regular thing amongst parents, is smelling your baby's butt and it's refreshing. Like, as if, you know, you're in the moment, like picturing the commercial for it. You're like, oh, being a parent is hard, but you know what helps give me an edge when I'm feeling tired and worn out and need something refreshing? Smelling my baby's butt. There's nothing like it. Baby butts are us, you know, like that's the weirdest thing to establish. I don't think that's a thing. And if it is, it shouldn't be. Okay. And it just didn't sit right with us. We walked out of that store and we just started dying laughing. We were like, what the fuck was that? How is that refreshing? How is that okay just to tell someone? Especially the awkwardness of us already walking out of the store. Then you need to stop us to tell us, hey, you know what my favorite part is? When it gets real late at night. This is what's refreshing. Shit's wild, son. I ain't ever smelled a baby butt, and I don't plan to. But it seems refreshing. Who said that? Yeah, who said that? He said that. I don't want to go to Russia because I don't want to speak Russian. Why is Putin rushing into Ukraine trying to go insane? Who said that? Ladies and gentlemen, I feel like we're on the tail end of this food poisoning though. Okay? It's been rough. I don't even remember the last time that I had food poisoning this bad. But it happens. It happens to all of us. Okay? I'm just happy I'm not on the Oregon Trail experiencing this, that I'm in this home with central air dealing with it. But also another crazy thing, another winter storm coming through Texas. A lot of stuff being canceled tomorrow because apparently icy roads. It was 85 yesterday. And now tomorrow, we're going into a winter storm. What am I supposed to do with this? Okay, Texas, you better be ready. It is interesting that Texas doesn't do well with cold weather at all. Like the people here, they can't handle it. I'll be honest with you, okay? I know Texans are tough, and there's this whole, big Texas pride thing with we're just tough people unless it gets a little chilly. That's how Texans roll around Texas. Texas built different unless it gets cold. Texas, where real men are, as long as we got a jacket. That's what Texas does. That's what Texas is about. But I'm hoping this winter freeze isn't a big thing. Okay. I think we're going to get through it. I just hope, that's the whole thing with the grid before, is everybody was saying it was like the grid was going to fail. It was some manipulation of bidding on electricity and people didn't want to, like it had to do with making money that the grid almost failed because not enough energy was purchased during that situation. I don't know exactly. Obviously, I didn't read the book on it. But something that's been going on in Texas is there's so much building. There's so much booming of industries. Like that's what is great is I do feel like I'm here at a time when there is a lot happening. Like a lot of tech coming here, a lot of the entertainment industry coming here. And this is my thing is that I do think it's good that technology is advancing is because it's making everything decentralized. We're all just a bunch of Bitcoin, and everything's becoming decentralized. But I do think it's great because with technology, there's more opportunities to create things outside of LA and New York with entertainment. Obviously, Atlanta has been a hub for filming for a while as well. But there's been especially with comedy, a need to be on one of the coasts. And there's now, through YouTube and everything, that's what is great about being a creator now. And just being a creative person in general, if you have any inclination of wanting to do your own thing, you can fucking do it with the internet now. The people who don't even do any kind of mainstream entertainment like comedy or stand-up comedy, I should say, and acting, they make more money than any of the comedians and actors. Like, make no mistake about it. Some of these huge TikTokers and not comedians, like entertainers on YouTube, they're making much more money than some of the biggest comedians that you've seen. Some of the biggest actors that you've seen, they're making more money and going to have more longevity and don't have to play any games. And that's what's great about decentralizing things. Who's like the biggest YouTuber? Mr. Beast. He lives, I think, where does he live? It's like South Dakota or something like that. And he just has been able to build this huge thing where he can make and create what he wants to outside of these industries. And it's inspiring because it's like, oh yeah, you don't need to be on a teat to be able to do that. Because I'll be honest with you, some of the worst things you can ever do is have to go to Hollywood auditions. Your boy went through that rabbit hole. Not for very long, but I hated it. It was soul sucking. And also just the logistics of driving through LA and going to some of these auditions and having to deal with these people. Like sometimes I would drive 2 hours just to get to a cattle call interview or audition where everybody looks mildly like me. It's a weird thing. There's 40, 50 of us. You go into a room for like, a minute. They have you stand in one area, do a line, stand in another, do a line, blah, blah, blah. And then go, okay, thank you. And then you leave and you never hear from them ever again. That was most of my career. Even just the logistics of that. But there's also, and I hope this is something that changes because I love storytelling on a grand stage. Like when it's a collaborative thing. When you have these shows like, what's a good one? Even something like Wolves, Succession is amazing. Peacemaker was great. The level of storytelling that is currently being established in mainstream entertainment, it's amazing. I love some of these stories and the way we're doing things. Giving depth to superheroes, I think, is great. And I think I love this. But one thing that I don't love is the whole business and the virtue signaling and so much that goes along with that. If we could have the art form and storytelling in a way that was the level that it is without all the bullshit and stuff that happens in the back, I would love to be more a part of it. Because that was the worst side. Even when I would get jobs and I'd be filming things or going to auditions and like, there was one where I was on this project. I made it to like the last, it was like for a live show and I made it actually on it. But because I wouldn't play these stupid games and act a certain way backstage, they didn't have me go out. And I was like, it was for this game show. I'm the only actual comedian here and going to be the one that actually makes this funny and tries to do certain things, but don't try to get me to be a fake virtue signaling person in the back. And it was just always so weird because everybody wanted to be liked. In some of these situations, people would they'd be talking to you a certain way, being normal. I'd feel like I'd be talking to a human being. And then a producer would come in the room and they would turn into a fucking different person. And all of a sudden just start spewing shit and just like, what? And I'd be like, what just happened to the person who was here a second ago? You're a goddamn chameleon. And everybody wants to act a certain way and pretend like this is who they are. Like everybody's just playing pretend. And it was just So weird doing those kind of like auditions and being on those kind of sets. The worst one, I think I've told this story before, was, and I didn't sign an NDA, so I think I can talk about this shit. But when I did Westworld, and I got tricked into thinking I was getting a dope role, and I really was I was going to be a background dead person. I was going to be a hero who died before even getting on camera. It was posed to me that I was going to be a hero, security fighter guy, super trained, going through the room with the gun and everything, and like blah blah blah, and then I die. Like the name was like a hero, blah blah blah. I forgot what it was, and then I take like a shot in the arm, and then like a knife, something like I get stabbed, and the guy who was on the phone with me was like, "That sounds pretty cool, right?" And I'm like, "That sounds awesome." And he's like, "Can you be here in 2 hours?" And I'm like, I'm like an hour and a half, 2 hours away, and it's in downtown LA, and it's for a night shoot. So I'm like, I will leave right now to try to get there in time. And he was like, great. I get there, make it just in the nick of time at the park, go there. I get in hair and makeup, and the guy's like, okay, so let's go ahead and put, we're going to have your bullet hole. Let's put it on your head. And then instantly I'm like, okay, I don't want to cross any lines here or, get in between you and your process. But I'm like, is it going to be like kind of like I just got nicked a little bit? Or is it like, because how am I fighting and everything? If I got shot in the head, am I a robot? Is this the twist in it? Holy shit, that's amazing. And then he goes, oh, no, your character's dead. And I was like, huh. Okay, so all of the stuff that was established I'd be doing, that doesn't happen. Oh, that happened before your character died. That's what we're establishing. Huh. And then I spent the next 20 hours there till like 10 a.m. the next morning, pretending to be dead in the background of Westworld. It was fucking great. I was like, this is what I've always dreamed of. It's just when they say action and I have these huge Hollywood productions going on and I'm just like this. Just dead in the background. It actually ended up being kind of cool because they did bring me to life. My character just revamped, I guess, and I got to take all the blood off and everything, and they actually had me doing cool shit. Did they use any of it for the show? Nah, they didn't. But it gave me that hope for months, like, hey, I'm gonna step out on these motherfuckers right now. Nah, never happened. Well, that's okay. Okay? Because things could be worse. Who knows? If I had made it on that show, I probably would have blown up, all this shit happening. Wouldn't have had food poisoning. But you know what food poisoning gives you? Perspective on life, brother. Perspective on life, friend. All right? But all is well, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I apologize for all the food poisoning talk. But sometimes when you're on life, you have to talk about what's going on in your life. And that's what's going on with me. We got food poisoning. We're dealing with the Russian invasion into Ukraine, which weirdly the U.S. is going to get pulled into, and our gas prices are going to... I'm going to get a goddamn bicycle. That's what I'm going to deal with gas prices going up. Go get me a bicycle. Bring, bring. Maybe a Razor scooter. Shit, I might be real thrifty and just get a tech deck. Okay? That's what I might end up doing. But we'll see if this winter storm allows for that kind of stuff. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to this episode. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, whatever you cool cats and kittens do. And I'll see you next week. And remember, no matter what, I still love you.